Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is so good to see everybody here. Welcome to June. How the hell is it already 6 months into 2025? I really don't know when that happened. It happened, I swear to God, overnight. Time jumping. At any rate, I'm really, really happy to be here. I'm happy to have us all together. And what I want to do today is really jump into kind of the energetics of the month and what has been happening in the collective and what we can do about it to best benefit from the energies and take our lives to the level at which we want to live them. So we're currently in the Gemini season. Gemini is an air sign and it is all about thinking. It's about thinking this way and thinking about that way. It's this and that. It's the two different minds. It's the two different, if you look at the sign of it, the glyph of it, it's two minds. Think about the theater or arts. There's the black mask and the white mask. And so it is the two different minds. So our minds are running big time right now. And so what I want to do is to be able to start us off by getting out of our minds and coming into our heart and our bodies. So this is a little gift that you can give to yourself every day, 5 times a day, 2 times a day, at least once a day, please. And it is bowing. Let's rub our hands together first. So we have thousands of nerve endings on our hands. And by rubbing our hands together, creating a little friction, you start to have the recognition and awareness of yourself and your palms touching palms, which connects the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere of the brain. That then becomes connected to your body. And if we bring them into the heart, that then connects to the heart. And if you pay attention closely enough, you might even start to feel the pulsation in your hands. You might even feel your beautiful, strong heart beating. The heart creates the greatest magnetic field in our body, emanating from our body. Echocardiograms, that's where it all comes from. MRIs, our bodies are magnetic. And so with this connection, I do want you to take just a few deep breaths. We're going to balance out the air and the mind, and we are going to both ground our feet in. So feel your feet flat on the floor. Feel your butt on your chair, sits bones connected to the chair. And let's take a water breath. So I'm going to ask you to breathe in through the mouth. Let the air come all the way to the back of your throat, if possible, and then out through your nose, which is opposite of what we often do. But this is all about coming into intentionality. Breathe in through your mouth. Out through the nose. In your pace, very gently, no striving, no proving. Just a rebalancing of all of the different elements and all of the different energies. Let's do that 2 more times. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the neck, relaxing the jaw as you do that. You might even to make sure that your jaw is loose. Fantastic. And then just release your hands, rest them on your lap if it feels good, and just notice what's different. Just take a minute here. Notice intentionally what feels different. How do you feel different? That was literally 2 minutes. Kind of nice, huh? Yeah, yeah. And so, with this new sense of groundedness, presence, in talking about the different things that are going on, there will be a little bit of Captain Obvious here by my stating that there's a lot going on in the world. There's always a lot going on in the world. And because our minds, the energies of our mind and the group collective is feeling the same things that we are talking about right here and now, there is a lot of commotion, a lot of chaos, a lot of thought that is going on around us. And many people think and speak without a filter. Again, Captain Obvious. So there is a lot of noise in that exhibition of thoughts that are happening with a lot of people. There is the noise of politics. There is the noise of what's happening on the earth environmentally. There is a lot of noise with what's going on with AI. I'm sure that there are thousands of other ways that you are hearing lots of other noise as well. The economy, pardon me, apparently it's truth coming. And so there is no better time, maybe even in our lifetimes, that we tune into our own intelligence, that we tune in to our own bodies, we tune into our heart, we tune in to our intuition. We all have our own purpose, and our purpose is led by our souls and then outwardly expressed through the actions that we hear from our heart and the longing that we have from our heart. So that's what's called aligned actions, when you are actually listening to your heart and taking aligned action. The mind runs on autopilot based upon the information that it is fed. Not so dissimilar from a computer. A computer is programmed by a human, and AI is programmed by a human. Those programs are run based upon logical inputs that they have received, the coding that they have received. They do not have their own thoughts. Some may argue that AI does have its own thoughts, but it is all based upon what it has learned from some things from the past. Our minds work in a very similar fashion. The memories that we have are based upon the past. The emotions that we have are energies that are based upon the things that we have experienced in the past, whether they're positive emotions or negative emotions. It's all based upon something that we have felt, emoted from the past. And so, with all of this beautiful information and wisdom that we have from the past, we don't know what our future is. And so this is why it is so imperative and so important and will be so much easier on yourself if you actually can just tune into your own intuition. You can tune in to your own heart and get what is true for you. So some of the information that is happening in the outside world is trying to get your attention. That is the new greatest commodity, is one's attention. And I'm sure that you have all heard that, that's why social media is what it is. And that's why if you look, even in the last 6 months, being an entrepreneur, I get all of these statistical updates on watch times. Here's what's trending. And our attention span has been shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. Call it the TikTok effect, whatever. It happens in all facets of your life. And you can even feel this in the attention span that people have with conversations, and how, you need to have multiple stimuli going on at the same time in order to maintain some semblance of focus. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's where we are. And so when you can get into this grounded state that we just did at the very, very beginning and actually tune in, I have you do the notice what's different at the very end of that, because if you don't notice what's different, automatically you go to the next thing. It's just the way that we have been programmed most recently, and we've all been programmed. And so to be able to fully experience that and to feel your body and to feel what it feels like to be at peace is a beautiful thing. And it's when we are in that sense of peace, when there is the void, that the subliminal mind is not on the hamster wheel, and that we actually have space to breathe, space to feel. I'm not saying that, I'm not going to ask you to take that space to think. I'm actually going to, really strongly suggest that you just take in that blankness for a little bit. And it's from that space that you can then feel into what is the truth for you. And so I offer to you, for the remaining days for the month of June, whenever you have a decision to make, if you can take 15 seconds, 10 seconds to try to get to a space of neutrality, tune into your body, make the decision from there, it's going to be fascinating for you to be able to see the difference in the decisions that you make. So that can be anything from how you react and versus respond to a conversation, a situation, whatever is happening. That can be food choices. That can be what kind of activity do you want to do next? I've got my list of 17 things on my to-do list. Take a minute. What is most aligned for me? What is best for me to do right here, right now, next? Then let your body, let your heart lead the way. The reason that I'm setting you up for all of this is the world is not going to get quieter. The world is not going to give you more space to make choices for yourself or make decisions for yourself or to have a better understanding of what's true and what's not true. Only you can do that for yourself. And it does become a habit, and habits need to be practiced. Are you going to get it perfect all the time? Hell no. Is life perfect? Hell no. It's a game. And if we can look at it that way, if you can take things less seriously, if you can be curious like a child, it's far more interesting. It's far less heavy. It's far less stressful. It's far less anxiety inducing. When we think about anxiety, when we think about depression, the statistics are staggering that especially women of midlife age, at some point in the last 5 years, 85% of women have been in a state of anxiety and or depression. Staggering. There has been a lot of noise. There has been a lot of input. There have been very few ways to, in a healthy way, what's the word I want to use? Manage doesn't feel very good, but express, eliminate, process those different anxieties. And again, those are all based upon things from the past. You are anxious about things because you have no roadmap for what the future looks like. So you don't know what could happen because it is a blank slate, but you have all of this input, all of this coding, programming from the past, and all of these potential outcomes. So, this is part of where faith and trust come in, that you can trust your heart, that you can trust your intuition, that you have faith that you're going to be able to make the best decisions for yourself. A lot of that power has been taken away from us. It really hasn't. We've just been made to be told that the power has been taken away from us. We have fear that is being layered on time after time. Anytime you turn any kind of device on, you are hearing some form of fear being layered on you. It has been ratcheting up for the last 5-10 years, and it becomes so subversive that it's standard protocol. It's just what happens. Think of how music has changed. Think how, obviously, we talked about social media has changed. Think about how we watch TV and how that has changed. Think about, it used to be far more rom-coms, a lot more family, Thursday night TV or, whatever, must-see TV. And now it is countless channels, reality TV shows where it's all this person after that person and manipulation, but that's part of the now I'm going way down the rabbit hole of control. And this is an acceptable norm. When did we lose our ability to have programmed what is an acceptable norm and not? So they all listen to our dollars. If our dollars are not being spent in those ways by having our eyeballs, having our attention spent, I started by talking about how the most commodity isn't oil anymore as much as it is attention and attention seeking. So if we can spend our attention on things that we are more in control of, that are more life affirming for us, that is when we can start to shift everything around us. It does all start with you first, yourself, your person, because as we also talked about with the heart coherence and the heart magnetism, it is what emanates out, and that is what is then attracted back. And so being able to do that, it's not easy. It doesn't, it's not something that we have on repeat in our culture currently. It is something that you do need to make a conscious and concerted and intentional effort to extricate yourself from the noise and redirect your attention onto your heart. That is not something that is rewarded externally either. So you do need to do it from an intrinsic versus extrinsic reward system. We talked about that back in the parenting days, and any of you that have the Essential Parenting program, that might be dust that off the shelf and have that come back. But it's how it plays out in life. And it's how it's going to continue to play out in the future. And so part of what I want you to do to be able to take the time to tune into yourself, again, to your heart and to your soul first. The mind will follow. The mind is the servant to the heart and the soul. We have it backwards. We've been told, and this is from and conditioned, and it's the way that our society is, and it won't change, and it can't change. I mean, when we think about everything from the time that your kids are old enough to understand language, we tell them to sit and be quiet. We tell them no. And, a lot of that is for good, but that is when, they start to lose the semblance of listening to your heart and what it wants, versus then we tell the mind what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And we need that for, our kids to be able to be in school. There's a whole then layer of conditioning that gets put there, and that's fine. How we can start to decondition that at home is to have communication with them, and just allow them to express their feelings and their thoughts in a safe way, because they have been having to, sit in school and be told what to do, and they have a curriculum that they have to follow. And that is the way of the world, because the same thing is going to happen when it's time to have the responsibilities for work, and have the responsibilities for your own bills, and have your responsibilities for your family, and have responsibilities and be able to make choices about, what friends you have and responsibilities you have. But to be able to tap into your heart, and to be able to tap into your soul, to know what is right for you. And what is right for you is different than what's right for your kids. What is right for you is different than what's right for your friends. What is right for you might be different from what's right from your brother, sister, mother, father, husband, wife, whatever, partner. And so it's okay that everybody can have their own perspective. And it's not your job to try and force your perspectives on them. We've lost the ability to really be able to have healthy debates. We're not, I'm operating under this new mantra of no righteousness, no regrets, and no, oh my God, isn't that so funny? Oh my God, that is so funny. I can't think of righteousness, regrets, and it's the one that I say all the time. The context of it is, while the word comes to me, um, it's not retaliation. Remorse. No, remorse is like regrets. Oh my God, that is funny. Basically, I'm not going to take it out on you. It's not your fault. It's not, um, I'll put it in the comments in the recording. I'm not going to waste any more time on it, because clearly it's not coming for a reason, but it's important. Wow, that is funny. Anyway, live your life to the fullest. And that's what I've got for you. So one of the reasons that I bring this up, not only because of the energies of the month, but I have, I'm booked. I'm pretty solid booked through the mid part of the month, and then I'll have two VIP slots, two one-on-one coaching slots open, basically from the 17th of June forward or on. And then I'm also going to be opening up a group program for 45 days where we actually practice changing our patterns. Pattern disruption is one of the greatest ways that you can actually start to shift a habit. And it's so that you unmemorize yourself. So it's kind of in the context of, what I've always talked about with Joe Dispenza, where his great book, Unmemorize Yourself. Um, his philosophy is about unmemorizing yourself. Um, I'm still focusing on the word. Okay, stop that, stop that. Anyway, we're going to be able to do it together. And so I can give you daily reminders, and what we'll do together is, within the 4 pillars that we work with here at With Love Jenny Warner, you will set up for yourself different ways in your life that you can, in these various areas, have a pattern disruption. So, you know what? I can do it this way this day, and I can try it this way this day, and I can try it this way this day. And basically, it's just to break the cycle of the patterning and the programming that our mind has on us, and to be able to see things from different perspectives, being able to try things differently, and what might, because we're in a new phase of our life. Every day is a new phase of our life. And so let's give our life the benefit of the doubt on what could be the best thing for us on a go forward basis. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But it's a beautiful time. Again, just, we're starting to have summer. And so things get, for some people, they speed up, some people, they slow down. The daylight hours are greater. We are outside, or have the ability to be outside more often. So take up the ability, the invitation from Mother Nature to get outside, spend more time out in nature, listen to nature more than the chaos and the noise out there, and tune into your heart, because our hearts are nature. So there is that connection, which is something that I always push for. That is what I have for today. I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your takeaways. The last 2 appointments for June will be first come, first serve. So you can reach out to me here in our community, or you can send me an email at jenny@withlovejennywarner.com. I'll put that in the notes as well. But enjoy summer, welcome summer, have a great solstice. I'll put something here in the community for a beautiful solstice ritual. If you would like to take that and run with it, that would be a fantastic thing to do, and a great way to listen to your own heart. There's no right or wrong. Ah, thank you. Thank you. It is from my heart to yours, with love. Take care, everybody.